And it's freezing. Right. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good afternoon. I never quite know what to say when it's 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Helen. I run Mommy's Gin Fund. If you haven't seen me before, I've been quite quiet recently. I used to do these lives like every week, and I've not done one for ages. So I'm very, very, very pleased and excited to be back with gorgeous Sarah. Sarah is our expert for today. Thank God you're all saying it's not me that you have to listen to. Thank God. Because we're talking about fussy eating, which is quite difficult to say when you're from Loughborough. Fussy eating. And a subject which I am the opposite of an expert on. Whatever the opposite end of expertise is, that's me, because I am mom of 4 children, 3 of whom are extremely fussy eaters. So I'm here, I've got my notebook, I've got my pen, I am ready to learn, because Sarah is from Kitchen Tidbits and she is an expert on this kind of thing. So she's going to help me and all of you guys watching to try and make meal times a bit less stressful, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Amazing. Right.
I hear your questions at me.
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. So on that note, gang, first of all, please say hi in the comments if you're watching us live or even on replay. I know it's really cheesy. I know it's like some kind of teenage YouTube thing, you know, like and share, like and comment. But honestly, it really helps the algorithm. Facebook at the moment, I think they're actually phasing out Facebook Lives. They've been talking about Facebook Lives being not very high on their agenda. So what that means is they don't send out those little feelers to tell everybody that we're live anymore. So please do comment, because every time you comment, it kind of pokes Facebook and makes them think that we're doing something interesting, which we are.
Yeah.
So say hi in the comments. If you've got any questions for Sarah or any comments for Sarah, please do also put them in the comments. We are live, so we are very happy. I'm just saying Sarah's very happy to answer them. Just volunteering you, Sarah, there. I'm sure
I'll come back later and check the group as well for anyone who's watched on replay. No problem at all.
Perfect. So questions, whack them in. And I promise you, you might think, oh, it's a bit stupid or it's a bit embarrassing. Whatever you type in that chat box, somebody else is thinking the same thing, 100%, and it's probably me. So, Sarah, let's get going, my darling. Do you want to give us that little cheesy intro that we always do at the start of Facebook Live? Just tell us a little bit about you.
Go on then, I'll practice again.
Do it. Go on, give your elevator pitch.
So hi everyone, I'm Sarah from Kitchen Tidbits, as Helen said. I'm a family mealtimes mentor. What's that, you ask? Well, I'm here to help you to transform your mealtimes from stressful to stress-free. So I specialise in working with parents on the practical aspects of family mealtimes. So I'll help you to support your fussy eater, to develop a love of food, for your child to eat a wider variety of foods, but also work with you on how the whole family can have fun at meal times and enjoy quality family time together while sharing food or cooking together. And I combine...
I'm emotional. I'm welling up already. It cannot be true.
It is true, I promise you.
Where have you been for the last 15 years of my parenting life? Anyway, sorry, carry on. Yeah.
Anyway, I combine all of this with teaching key skills around meal planning, reducing food waste, and it's all to help you feel more organised and in control in the kitchen, to make best use of your time, your energy, and your ingredients. And I'm here to inspire you excuse me, with recipes and inspiration to help you answer that age-old and that dreaded question, what's for dinner, Mum?
Oh my God, that question has me on the edge every freaking day. Like when I just think back to when I was like a 20-year-old student and I had bright blue hair and Doc Martens and I genuinely thought I was going to go out and like change the world in some way. Now I find myself single-handedly responsible for deciding what everyone else has for tea. Like, how the hell did that happen? That's rubbish. Anyway, right. I'm going to put a link whilst you're talking the next bit. I'm going to put some links in the comments for people to find you. So you're here to give us some tips. Would you like to hit us with your first tip, please, for sorting out these kids and their eating?
Yeah, so we talked about 3 things to avoid, didn't we,
Yeah,
when feeding your fussy eater, and what to do instead, because that's really
yeah,
important to know what to do, isn't it? So the
yeah.
first thing to avoid, and the first mistake so many of us make, is that we sit and we beg and we plead our children to eat, and it doesn't work. It puts pressure
No,
on
I can
them.
assure you it does not work.
No, it does not. It has the complete opposite effect to the one that we want. It puts pressure on them to eat instead of encourage them to eat. So we want to make mealtimes fun and the table a place they want to be. So, staying calm as much as possible at the table, having conversation, telling jokes, playing the yes no game, fighting with Alexa over what songs to play, nice placements that can encourage some conversation, or when you're stuck and your child wants to get down from the table, something to interest them and bring them in. So whatever you can do to make it a nice, relaxed, calm and fun environment will, it takes the distraction away from the food a little, and it be a place you want to be, all of you.
It's
So
so
it's nice.
hard though when they're driving you absolutely freaking bonkers,
I
and
know.
you've spent hours making the food, and well, actually, it takes about 20 minutes to make chicken nuggets in my house. But you've been at work all day, or you've been up to your eyeballs with flipping kids all day. Then it's tea time. You're just like, will you just eat the food so I can put you to bed? Like, well, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's a little insight into my parents. And normally for me, I'm really bad because I've always got my phone or my laptop next to me because I haven't finished work. So I'm trying to finish my work whilst they're eating, and oh God, nightmare. Nightmare. Okay, good. I'm going to be fun mom at tea time.
Yeah, so if you've done the work up front and you know what you're having, you've planned, you've sorted it, you can come to the table a little less stressed. If you're able to eat together, put your phone down, no tech at the table is a rule in our house, then, you can spend that quality family time together and reframe it. It's not meal time, it's family time, because quite often that time is the only time in the whole day, the week, that we come together and we can reconnect and see each other. Normally you're just ships passing in the night, aren't you, going off to clubs and work and whatever else is going on. So it is quite nice to try and forge that time together, and it has multiple rewards for children, not least encouraging them to explore, that you're role modeling for them, so they're seeing you enjoying food, and that really does encourage them to start themselves.
So I was going to ask you that actually, because I don't eat at the same time as the kids often. So I sit and like watch them like that, which must be horrible. Must be really horrible to sit and try and eat their tea. And I'm like this, like, oh, come on, get on with it. Like that must be horrible. So I need to stop doing that. Okay.
I mean, it's not feasible every night for most families, but as much as possible, eating together. If it means shifting dinner time for your children by half an hour, they're gonna be able to cope with that.
Mm.
And it does reap so many rewards. But like you say, just sitting there and tapping your watch, it's again putting that pressure on them to finish up. And not making it a nice place to be.
No, it's not. My problem is, when you're in like a really busy family and you've got all the kids have all got to be in different places at different
Oh, yeah.
times, and sometimes kids, the older ones, they get in from school, they don't get home from school till like 10 to 5, and then they've got to be out the door again at like 5:30. So I am literally at the table like, hurry up, like shovel it in, hurry up, hurry.
But even if it's just the weekends,
Yeah,
tonight,
no, you're right.
it's really beneficial. I know someone's just asked a question: if one parent can eat at the same time as children, does it have the same benefit? Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I should sit and eat some, or at least have a cup of tea. So at least be part of the dining experience.
Yeah, maybe have a small amount of what they're having, cook a few extra of the vegetables. Again, you're role modeling there that, veggie's great to eat, doesn't make you feel so bad because you've had a snack when you've got dinner coming later, because you've got nutritious and good stuff into you, rather than, snacking on, something not quite so healthy for us.
No. Okay. Cool. Right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get off my phone. I'm going to sit down with them, and I'm going to be more fun and make it more relaxed, more enjoyable. Okay.
Absolutely.
What else? Tell me what else I'm not supposed to do.
Okay. Your child doesn't enjoy a food, so you stop offering it.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Oh God, I've given up with so many foods now. I'm just like, I just don't have the strength for that fight anymore. Like
Okay.
sauce. So like I've got a 5-year-old, right? He's just turned 5. He will not eat anything wet. Right? So the only sauce he has is ketchup. But he won't have any kind of sauces or anything. So now I just don't even bother. I just give him like plain pasta because I've lost the will to live. But but you're telling me I should try. I should give him like
I can see you're going to need a bit more than 20 minutes, Helen, for you.
I warned you. I did warn you. My kids are a flipping nightmare. That's just one of them. Oh God. I feel like I need
I'm going to encourage you to not stop offering just because foods have been rejected a few times. It takes a long time, and I know, I get it, that it feels like a waste of your time and effort and a waste of food. But if we stop offering, then our children don't get those opportunities that they need to start learning to like foods. They don't get those opportunities to see you enjoying them and learn that they're safe. And they have to feel safe and comfortable to start exploring foods. And you end up in this cycle of eating the same foods over and over, of being miserable and bored because you don't like those foods that you're cooking.
Constipated because you're always eating plain pasta.
Absolutely, or cooking 3, 4, 5 different meals at dinner time. So it's about offering a variety of foods at every meal and snack opportunity, and supporting your children to go on a journey of exploration with food. You're their tour guide on this exploration, and you need to show them where the sights and sounds are, where the highlights are, and just get to them to the point where they're happy to start eating. But they're not going to try a new food straight away, and they need those opportunities to become familiar with them and comfortable enough to start trying them.
I remember with him, I I got like a piece of pasta, and I put like, honestly, it's incredible, right? His shoes are about that big, right? His shoes could be on his own lap, and he can't find them. I'm like, go and find your shoes, right? He cannot find them. They are that big, right? A fleck, a dot, a tiny little needle point's worth of tomato sauce was on his pasta, and he found it, and he wouldn't eat the whole bowl of pasta until he'd witnessed me washing the whole. And I was like, I'm never going to be one of those parents that washes pasta. That's so tragic. And then like 5 years later, I'm there like under the tap, like washing the sodding pasta. But I do remember putting a tiny little bit of tomato sauce on his pasta, and basically going from, let's all lick the pasta, it'll be really fun, let's see if it turns your tongue red, it's going to be like a pasta lolly, oh it's so good, yeah, let's do it. And then about 5 minutes later I was like, I will give you anything, anything, I'll give you all the sweets in the shop, just lick the pasta. So yeah, I think maybe I need to go back there and start doing the whole licking pasta thing again.
Absolutely, and it feels stupid, doesn't it? But it works.
Exhausting.
It's encouraging without putting pressure on to eat. They're in control of it. You're saying, I'd like you to try it. This is the food that's available. There's nothing else.
Yeah. So what is your theory about this there's nothing else thing? Because I have to admit, I do. If he won't eat it, I do go make him something else. And you're going to tell me I shouldn't do that.
I am going to tell you shouldn't do that. It's like, what are you teaching him? He doesn't need to bother trying, does he? Because there's something else coming.
And do you know what I do is I make everybody else tea, and then I make him his own little separate tea as well. Should I not? I shouldn't do that either, should I?
No. So one of the best ways is to make one meal that everyone can enjoy. So you're putting food on the table that is part of that meal, but also ensuring that there are some preferred foods for each person incorporated into that meal. So, if it's rice and they don't eat rice, a bit of leftover pasta on the table is a good thing to do. Or certain vegetables. In our house, one child eats raw veg and the other child will only eat cooked. So I leave some chopped up and raw for one and cook the rest, and my husband and I usually have a combination of whatever is going. But it's little things there that aren't much extra effort, but that can ensure that they've got something that's going to satiate an appetite. And once they've satiated that appetite, they're going to be more open to exploring other things, if you've repeatedly made them available. But yeah, alternatives. If they know they can push you over and get that alternative, then they're not going to bother trying the food that you'd like them to offer.
I am a nightmare. Like every mealtime, I just look at myself, and there's like 5 different dinners. There's 6 people in my house, and the other day I made 5 different dinners for 6 people.
That must be exhausting.
I just looked at the table and I was like, where did I go so wrong? What did I do? But it's so easy to kind of get into that where you just like, I just want them to eat something, because I know if he doesn't eat anything, an hour later it'll be like, I'm hungry. But you know what I did do? I found a secret weapon. This is a top tip, gang. Anybody who's watching, if you've got siblings can be your ultimate ally. Absolutely. Because he will not eat for me. Like, he will just not. I made pasta the other day. Everybody else got pasta and sauce. He got plain pasta. But it was the wrong shape pasta. So he literally would rather starve than eat pasta that's the wrong shape, until his big sister, my 14-year-old, said, shh, let's do a trick on mummy. And I was like, yeah, do that. And then she told him, because he's obsessed with playing on her phone, she said, for every piece of pasta you eat, you can have 1 minute on my phone. And he just went and just ate the whole lot. Yes. So yes, exploit the siblings. That's what I've learned.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. What's your third tip, Sarah?
My third tip would be to have a meal and snack routine. So, there's a constant supply of food throughout the day, but there's enough time between each meal and snack for them to develop a hunger. And it means that, it gives them the opportunity to try a variety of foods throughout the day. They don't get too hungry or too full that they can't eat at a mealtime. Yeah. So have a meal and snack routine. And if in those snacks that you're offering, you look at it as a mini meal, if you like, so incorporating a variety of food groups. So rather than it just being a piece of fruit or just being a bag of crisps, a carb, a veg, a fruit, and a protein or dairy means that snack is going to be sustaining, and it's going to see them through to the next meal, so that 20 minutes later you don't get, Mom, can I have a snack? Mom, can I have a snack?
This is another place that I'm going wrong. Honestly, gang, it's such a mess. Food in my house is such a mess. But this is also where I'm going wrong, because I've got 2 older ones at secondary and 2 younger ones at primary. And I pick the primary ones up from school, and we get in and they are beside themselves with hunger. Yeah. And then because they can reach the cupboards, and because I'm trying to finish off my work, what they do is they go on like a mammoth 3-course buffet snack, where my 5-year-old, who's refused to eat any of his packed lunch because he doesn't like people watching him, so he's now not eaten since breakfast, so he is like just like beside himself. So he then sits and eats the whole of his pack up. Meanwhile, his brother is like scavenging, eating like 3 brioches and 2 bags of crisps. And then I go, tea time, and they go, oh, I'm a little bit full.
Yeah. So
So I need to put that
having that
down.
routine in place and those boundaries as well. And when you get those questions around, they haven't eaten dinner and then, half an hour later they're asking for food, it gives
Yeah.
you some backup for when you say, no, you need to wait for the next meal or snack. Or at dinner time when they're not eating well, they soon learn that if they don't eat tea, there's nothing until breakfast. So, if they're hungry, they need to eat at that point. And by the way,
You
they're
do
not
that though, because
starve
I can't.
overnight. They are not going to starve overnight.
Because I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Like, they don't eat their tea, and then like an hour later they're starving, and I make them a sandwich because I can't. I can't just say no. But I've got to, haven't I? I'm such a wuss. Please let me know in the comments if I am like the biggest wuss ever, or if you are just as bad as me, because I do. They say they don't eat their tea, and then they say, actually, what I do is I keep their tea, and then I give their tea back to them like an hour later. So I do that, but sometimes it's been scooped away or whatever, and then I do go and make them a sandwich. And then my older two, my secondary school two, they come down at about 10 o'clock at night, and then they have like a second tea. So they have like bowls of cereal and all that. And
They're different for older children because they're, teenagers. They do need a lot more food, a huge amount more food, more than we do as adults.
Oh, they eat way more than me.
They need a different routine. But still, it's the same principle when they do come for more food, about encouraging them to pick a wide range of food groups and a variety of foods, so that the foods they're choosing are sustaining.
Not just Nutella sandwiches, which is what my 14-year-old lives off.
Throw some banana in with that or something like that, and a much better glass of milk.
I'm completely convinced if she ever went for a blood test, it would come out thick and brown. That's literally the only food that she eats is like Nutella. Nutella on a spoon, Nutella on toast, Nutella in a sandwich, Nutella on a bagel, Nutella,
He's getting variety though, different bread products.
Different types of carbs with her Nutella.
Variety comes in different forms.
That's very true. Right then, my gorgeouses who are watching, if any of you have got any comments, or if any of you have got any questions, now is the time to post them, because in a couple of minutes we're going to be saying bye to Sarah. So if you've got anything that you would like to ask Sarah, please do. If you're watching on replay, please put the questions in the comments anyway, because Sarah's going to come back and answer them. So whilst we just wait for a second for any last questions or comments, please let me know that I'm not the only one who is a complete wimp when it comes to like policing food intake and times of meals. Sarah, let us know how we could, if people want to find out more, if they want to find out about your services, if they want to find out what you do, what do you do? How can you help them?
Yep, so I've got a range of courses and resources that are available on my website, kitchentitbits.co.uk. You can come and follow me on Facebook as Kitchen Titbits. I have a free Facebook group that you might like to join, Stress-Free Family Mealtimes. I'm also over on Instagram and Pinterest if that's where you like to be too. So just search out Kitchen Titbits and you'll find me.
Amazing. I'm just trying to find a link to your... What's your Facebook group called? Stress-Free
Family Mealtimes.
Oh God, that sounds like the dream, doesn't it? I don't think I've ever had a stress-free family mealtime, unless it's a roast dinner. Actually, roast dinner is the one and only food that everybody will eat. Right, I found the group. Right, so this is Sarah here. That's you, isn't it?
That's me, yeah.
Amazing. So I will put a link in the comments. For some reason, it won't let me share a link. Or Sarah, you could come back in a minute.
I can, yeah. I'll drop back in and put the link in. Oh, there's a question coming up. If you're trying to increase exposure to new foods, is it better to put the food on their plate or to have it on the table for them to help themselves? I encourage you to have foods on the table and allow them to help themselves. It goes back to something called the division of responsibility in feeding, where we're responsible for when and where our children eat and the food that's on offer, hopefully mostly nutritious, and our children are responsible for what and how much of that food they eat. So if they can help themselves, then that backs that up. But also it means that They're not overwhelmed by how much food is on their plate, especially in the evenings when their appetite is reduced. And it means that if there's something on that plate that's new and unfamiliar or disliked, it's not going to put them off the whole plate of food, like the spot of red tomato sauce on Helen's son's pasta. So it puts them in control, and often it does mean that they'll eat better, they'll eat more, and they'll be encouraged more to go and explore those new foods.
Actually, I have to say, my kids, it does work better if it's on the table. I tend to do lots of, my go-to way of coping with meal times is I put lots of different things in bowls, like a sort of tapas sort of thing.
Yeah,
And then
kids
people
love
just
that.
take the bits of the food, bits of the bowls that they like. And then I always do a sprout because my husband hates sprouts. And then it's like this massive big joke about how there's always a sprout. So he has to eat the sprout. So we all force him to eat the sprout, and then it's like, right, if Daddy eats the sprout, what are you going to eat? But
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
fantastic.
Doesn't work.
But yeah, those picnicky teas, those tapasy bits, lots of bits on the table, perfect for children.
Yeah, they love that.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you. Somebody's just saying that they do the same as me. Unfortunately, I can't see who you are, but thank you. Thanks for the moral support. Right, we're gonna head off. I've just been trying to get a link to your group, Sarah, to share it, but for some reason it won't let me.
Okay,
It's
I'll go and
being
have
really
that.
glitchy on my phone at the moment. So if you could come back in a minute and put your links in the comments for me. But yeah, massive thank you for coming and sharing your tips. I feel like we're going to need you back again. I feel like me and you I need some therapy. I feel like. But yeah, let's definitely get you back. So on that note, if you want Sarah to come back and chat to the group again, let us know in the comments what you'd like her to talk about. And we can book you back in, Sarah, hopefully.
Fantastic.
Also, just as a very quick little advert, Sarah is a member of the Gin Fond Business Club. And I'm aware, thanks. I'm aware that I haven't, blathered on about that for a while, but doors are going to open in a few weeks. So if you are a small business like Sarah, and you would like to come and join the Gin Fond Business Club, come and hang out with us. It's fun, isn't it, Sarah? We hang out together.
Yeah, it's so much support, and the masterclasses are amazing.
Yes, they are. They really are. It's not me, by the way, so I can say that. But yeah, if you are interested in getting your small business in front of Mummy's Gin Fund, or just meeting other small business owners and hanging out and learning stuff and getting support and encouragement, then let me know. Just send me a DM and I can send you some information. And we have a thing called Zoom Room Roulette.
Yes.
Which is completely free. It's for any small business owner. Everybody comes together, and you go off in little Zoom rooms with all different types of small businesses. You get to know each other, have a chat. It's not scary. It's not like, it's a massive Zoom and you have to talk in front of like 50 people. It's not like that at all. It
no
is
60-second pictures either. That's most important for me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, no, we don't do anything like that. Those things are fucking hideous. We definitely don't do that. I'm just looking for the date because I was going to be really professional and say, and here's the date.
But I think it's next Friday, is
it? That's the members only one. But then there's an open to the public one. I don't know. I really should get better at this kind of stuff. I will. I'll post it, and I'm just see if I can see it now. No, good. I'll post it in the group. It's towards the end of March. I think like the 23rd or 24th, something like that. Anyway, it's in the evening. And if you run a small business, you are very welcome to join us. Right, let's get out of here. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you soon. Bye.